Your news starts now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us for News 12 Now at 11. I'm Amber Worthy. 2 people are behind bars tonight after leading multiple agencies on a chase into Georgia. Early this morning around 2 a.m., the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office says a deputy saw a vehicle on Suck Creek Road driving erratically. After attempting to stop that vehicle, officials say the driver fled and continued even after a tire blew and after crashing into a deputy's car. Officials say they made the decision to force that vehicle off the road in order to protect other motorists. No one was injured. The driver, Joshua Merciers, and the passenger, Jamie Swafford, who you see on your screen, were taken into custody, and both had outstanding warrants. And the city of Copperville issued another boil water advisory after issues that caused major leaks where they get their water from, which is the city of McKaysville. Citizens are urged to boil their water for 3 to 5 minutes since they are hauling that water in from another utility company on fire trucks. Officials say they regret that this is happening so often. And the Chattanooga Bomb Squad was called to West 25th Street for a suspicious package this afternoon. Investigators determined that the suspicious package was a homemade firework. It was blown up just before 2 p.m. The scene is clear. No one was injured and no nearby buildings were damaged. And the Lifeway building in Nashville, Tennessee, was demolished this morning through a series of carefully planned implosions. The 12-story building, which imploded at 9:30 a.m., was imploded at 9:30 a.m. The demolition is a part of a groundbreaking and a new development in the Nashville Yards, a residential, commercial, and office space. This space is described as the new gateway to downtown Nashville. And in Fort Oglethorpe, they cut the ribbon in what they hope is a new staple in their community. Take a look. The city of Fort Oglethorpe celebrated the grand opening of their field house Saturday morning. They were joined by many city and state representatives, as well as Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach for the Los Angeles Dodgers, who grew up in this area.
The baseball fields that are right almost next door is where I grew up.
Honeycutt says sports give children a special outlet to learn discipline, people skills, teamwork, and most importantly, a fun way to release energy. He believes on top of that, it can lead to a promising career.
You never know what may happen. I think I'm a good example. You never know. I mean, you play a sport and you like it. I mean, I played basketball, but it was my worst sport. But I had to work the hardest at it to try to get better.
Craig Crawford, the vice president for the Recreation Board and Mayor Pro Temp, says this will benefit generations to come. Crawford and Jeff Long, the director of Public Works and Recreation, says it carries a history that will be taught as well.
And we wanted to kind of have a nostalgic name to it. So Fort Oglethorpe Fieldhouse, a lot of the older big gymnasiums and arenas around were known as field houses. And
I guess this was a historic building back in the when it was a military base, so the old fort. So it's kind of kept a historic building and brought it new for the youth there, and have our own gymnasium here in the city of Fort Oglethorpe.
But Jenny Simpkins, the city manager, says it hasn't been an easy process, and they need the community's continued support through SPLOST.
So 1 penny sales tax makes a huge difference in our community, and it's great because visitors are able to contribute to our local community as well, and it's not just on the local taxpayers.
And across the region, brutal temperatures follow a massive snowstorm that slammed the East Coast yesterday. CBS News' Laura Podesta shows us the impact that the weather is having on cleanup and emergency efforts.
The snow has stopped falling, but temperatures haven't. Single digits are gripping much of the East Coast as people dig out from Thursday's snowstorm.
I got my heaviest coat on here, hat, gloves, everything.
In Boston, wind intensified the brutal cold, almost knocking people over. And some parts of Massachusetts are still dealing with flooding after powerful 15-foot waves crashed over the seawall, slamming ice and debris against homes.
Today is truly a sad day for Philadelphia.
A firefighter died and 2 others were injured while battling flames in this row house in North Philadelphia.
We've all been here for over 16 hours.
palpable frustration at airports like New York's John F. Kennedy. It's still trying to resume normal operations after stopping all flights due to whiteout conditions. New Yorkers tell us this is the longest stretch of frigid weather they can remember. To handle this deep freeze, they're layering up.
I'm wearing 3 of everything. I have two hats, 3 pairs of pants, 3 pairs of gloves, and 3 jackets.
Not everyone is complaining about the weather.
Aren't you cold out here?
These kids are taking advantage of the cold and the mounds of snow to have a little fun. Laura Podesta, CBS News, New York.
And we definitely saw these temps in the Tennessee Valley as well. Christina, hopefully we'll have some good news in a look at tomorrow's forecast.
Now, from the EPB Fiber Optics Weather Center, tomorrow's Storm Team 12 forecast.
Some progress on the way, Amber, but clear skies at sunset tonight on our CHI Memorial camera. Out at Lee Point on the EPB Fiber Optics weather camera are the start of another very cold night tonight. Sunday morning will start off back down in the teens under mostly clear skies. We will see some progress, though, for Sunday. Should be nearing 40 degrees by the afternoon. Will likely touch 40 degrees in the Scenic City, which would be the first time we've hit 40 degrees so far this year. But we will see more clouds rolling in through the evening and overnight ahead of some unsettled weather on the way for Monday.
Now, from the EPB Weather Center, your storm